it's Delancey. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. And if you're a long-term subscriber, welcome back. I know it's been a hot second since I made a video. Since I last was on YouTube, a lot has happened. I have accomplished all of my academic goals. I graduated from school. I got my registered dietitian's license, and I'm now working a 9-to-5 job and just kind of juggling a chaotic schedule. And I wanted to come back on here and still talk about the things that I love to talk about most, which would be lifelong learning. And I still plan to incorporate aspects of my life as a registered dietitian. But I also want to talk about hobbies that I'm passionate about, as well as things that I continue to learn, even though I'm no longer in the formal classroom setting. And so one of those things that I'm really passionate about is language learning, particularly Korean, as well as of late, Mandarin. And with this week's video, what I wanted to do was challenge myself to a daily Korean practice, take you guys along with me throughout the week, and show you how I managed to fit in at least 30 minutes a day of language learning in the midst of working a 9-to-5 job and all of the other craziness of just, you know, being a girl in her 30s. My boyfriend Dan and I are actually going to be heading to Korea in October for a trip, and Dan doesn't speak any Korean. I've been learning Korean on and off for about 3 to 4 years, so it's going to be on me for the most part to navigate Korea for us, which I am so excited to do. I absolutely love Korea, and Seoul is my favorite city in the world, but I definitely need to get my study game back on and focus in on Korea in preparation for our trip. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to have us jump onto my computer, and we're going to break down my goals for the week ahead, how I plan to tackle those goals, as well as the tools that I'm going to be using. So let's jump over there. I'm going to break down what my goals are for this week. So like I said, I want to study at least 30 minutes per day, which I think I can do. I might not always be able to sit down for 30 minutes straight, but I think if I study my sprinkling in throughout the day, 30 minutes should be no problem. And in fact, I think I have some days this coming week where I could probably even do 1 to 2 hours. So looking at my mini goals within the larger goal, I'm looking to learn at least 20 new vocabulary words. Grammar, I am currently on Talk to Me in Korean level 4. I say that with the slight caveat that I've actually done a lot more grammar studying outside of Talk to Me in Korean. I kind of just come back to those textbooks whenever I want to ground myself again. But nevertheless, I'm working my way through that grammar book, and I want to take care of 2 grammar lessons this week. I'm looking at 4.10 and 4.11. I'm not sure off the top of my head which grammar lessons those are, but we'll find out as we go. And then also this week, I do want to complete 1 tutoring session. I have a really awesome tutor that I met through italki, and I have been with her for, gosh, maybe a year, 2 years. She's the best. I haven't seen her in forever, but with this trip coming up, I went ahead and scheduled some sessions with her. So, which brings me to my next mini goal for this week. I want to complete that tutoring homework. And then hopefully by the end of this week, I'll be able to recap everything for you guys, how I felt, what I was able to accomplish, and practice my Korean speaking skills and chat with you guys in Korean. My broken Korean, we'll see. I promise to put subtitles in too. And then tools that I'm going to be using. So this is my Talk to Me in Korean level 4 textbook. And then I have my personal Korean notebook that I use for all of my note taking. It's also where I practice grammar, practice vocab. And if I learn a fun little nifty word or grammar structure on the fly, I will throw it in this notebook. And then I also have my phone here that I use for all of my vocabulary flashcards. I currently use the app Anki. There's a whole backstory to Anki. It's a great flashcard app. If you don't know about it, definitely check it out. You can use it on your computer and your phone. And then I'm also going to be using Pinterest on and off if I'm really in the need for some new vocabulary words and I'm just not finding them anywhere. Sometimes I'll hop on Pinterest and just look up vocab lists. I also like to use Didi's Korean podcast or Didi's Korean culture podcast. I'll promise to link it down below. That has kind of been my go-to podcast if I want to listen to something in the car or maybe watch something on YouTube. I highly recommend that. Really great for increasing your listening skills. I currently am watching Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha, which I'm a little late to the game on. I never watched it when it first came out, and now that it's starting to become spring and summertime here where I'm living, I feel like that is a perfect K-drama to hop on. So that is a challenge. I hope you guys are excited and looking forward to this vlog. For now, it is currently Sunday at around 3:30 p.m. I just got off of a 6-day work week, so I'm currently having a 1-day weekend. So I probably will not do a ton of studying today because I think my brain will explode. I'll let you guys know how that goes. And yeah, enjoy the vlog. 그럼 한국어를 열심히 공부하자. 화이팅!
You guys eat dinner already?
Hey guys, happy Monday. It is currently Monday afternoon. I got off of work early, which was much needed. It was kind of a rough morning. I was a little slow to move, having only like a 1-day weekend. But I got what I needed to do done, and I came back home and met up with Dan. We had a late lunch, early dinner, and we decided that we would go down to the pool for the rest of the day because it's getting really hot outside. Spring is coming in fast over here. It's like already in the 80s and 90s, and so we thought the pool might be a good idea. So I want to review all of my old vocab and see if I can pick up 5 new words to add to my 20 word count goal. And then the big thing I really need to work on is prepping for my tutoring session, which is tomorrow, which I'm excited about, but a little nervous and overwhelmed about too, because I have not seen my tutor in like over a year. And if she still runs her tutoring sessions like how she did over a year ago, I know she's probably gonna ask me about what I've been up to, what I plan to do for the week and the weekend ahead. And so what I like to do generally preparing for these tutoring sessions is to make a quick bullet list of things I want to talk about with her, and maybe some grammar structures or vocabulary that I want to use that I can quickly reference in our conversation. I don't like to write everything out because I do want to practice being able to speak Korean on the spot, but I do find that having a couple of reference points just kind of helps smooth the conversation along and helps me get the most out of my 30 minutes with her. In the meantime, I am just going to wait for Dan to get done. He's currently in the office working on some music production, transition my brain from that work mindset to the more study mindset. So that's the plan, and I will see you at the pool. So of course, as soon as we get out here, the sun goes behind the clouds and it's a little bit of a cloudy day at the pool, which is fine. The weather is still really nice. The temperature is like perfect out here. And I made some progress on my studying. I was able to review all of my vocab, which I have annotated here in my Korean study notebook. If I'm able to, when I do my flashcards, I like having the ability to write down the words as well, just because I find that it helps with my memory if I'm able to write out the words instead of just recalling them in my head. And it also helps me practice my writing skills. And then I was able to find actually 6 new words this time around to add to my flashcard deck. But these are words that pertain to my tutoring session prep for tomorrow. So I was talking about things like how I've been taking voice acting classes, how I have a part-time job at the studio helping out as an assistant, and taking workout classes, starting YouTube again, making videos about language learning, things like that. So to review, the 6 new words that I'm adding to my flashcard deck are 성우, which is voice actor, similar to 배우, which is actor, 학습, which is academics or learning, 아르바이트, which is part-time job, 조수, which is assistant, 출장, which is business trips, and 광고, which is like an advertisement. Yes? Uh-huh.
Try to stay out of your video.
Oh, you're good. You're good. Happy Tuesday. It is going to rain today, and we are very excited about that. Yeah. And we have got Animal Crossing, a long play video on the TV for some ambiance. And it is time for a full workday ahead. 그리고 포인트 쪽 클릭하세요.
포인트 정리해주세요.
I was like, 잘 모르겠어요. 네. 검색하고 있어요. 네.
검색하고 있어요.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, look it up. Yeah. 좋아요.
네,
Okay.
네, 좋아요.
네. 진짜. 감사합니다. 화이팅.
시간에 만나요.
안녕히 계세요. Tutor session is done. First time back after a very long time, and I'll be honest, it was a little messy, but we got through it, and I'm proud of myself for that. And I find that I get like so nervous before these tutoring sessions, even now, because it's just when you work a 9-to-5 job and you are just like saturated in the English language all day, and then you hop on these tutoring calls and switch your brain into another language, it is still really hard for me I'm still just really working on that transition between the two languages to do that so quickly and seamlessly. But we're getting there. So, what I always try to do is if I know I have a tutoring session at night, I will only listen to Korean media throughout the day, like music when I'm driving in the car, or podcasts, or I'll watch like Korean YouTube in the morning when I'm getting ready. And that does help. And I definitely recommend that. But just know too, if you're juggling a 9-to-5 and all the craziness, and jumping into a tutor session is hard at the end of the day, like you're not alone. Like I definitely feel that too. And I think really the secret sauce to juggling a full-time job and just life as we get older, while also still having these other hobbies and these other personal academic learning goals for yourself, is that you just don't be so hard on yourself, As long as you keep showing up, that's what matters. There's a quote that says, like, success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out. This isn't some grandiose big thing that happens overnight. It is your small efforts that you keep putting in. You do it when you're tired. You do it when it's not good. You do it when you feel like crap, You just keep showing up. And really, that is the simple but the hard truth, I think, to accomplishing a lot of things. As we get older. So now I'm going to decompress a little bit and get ready for tomorrow. Now as we head into Wednesday through Saturday, this is where my schedule starts to get really nasty, and finding places to fit in Korean becomes much more of a creative challenge for myself. So like tomorrow, I'm going to be out all day presenting at different sites for my work. And then after work, I'm going to go straight to a workout class. I have a hot bar class in the afternoon, late afternoon. I'll take that, shower, get ready, and then I'm going to head to my voice acting studio till about 9:30 p.m. And of course, I'm heading straight to bed as soon as that's over. So I think I'm going to fit in my Korean through the form of podcasts. I think I can get my flashcards in when I have some free time. Instead of just scrolling through Instagram, I can get my flashcards done. But that's kind of the plan for tomorrow, and Thursday, Friday, Saturday are very similar. It's just jam-packed with stuff. But like I said, we make it work. So with that in mind, I'm gonna go take a chill pill. All right.
Which is just not for me, and I'm just not connected like a restaurant time situation. There's also a lot of Apple, what your theories are, and if you're not caught up on season 3, don't listen to the next
하는지, 그리고 뭐 성형의 용어나 저의 성형에 대한 생각들, 이런 것들에 대해서 이야기를 해봤는데, 거기서는 제가 이렇게
쭉 보여드릴게요. 물 좀 옛날이긴 한데.
Hey guys, it is Thursday afternoon. Just finished up work. As of right now, in the late afternoon, we're having a little bit of a quiet time around the condo because Dan has some meetings that he needs to take from home. So I think as soon as I finish the dishes here, I'm gonna hop on to my laptop and hang out at my desk and really work on my weekly vocab goal. I was hoping to learn 20 new words this week and add those to my Anki flashcard deck. So I feel like that's what I have the brain capacity for today. So that's the plan. I'm gonna review vocab, throw in some new words, trying to do stuff that's like more retail shopping focused because I feel like those terms will be really important for when we go to Korea in the fall because we're gonna be doing a lot of shopping, I hope. So that's the plan.
Where you going? Where are you going?
It is Friday night and I am at my parents' house now for the weekend. I did get some Korean studying in today, my 30 minutes, even if it was kind of scattered and all over the place. We had a work event today and we were outside the whole day and it was also windy. And so my allergies are really acting up. During the event, there were also some just kind of lulls in attendance or people coming up to our booths. So I used that time to go through my Anki flashcards and was able to review my Korean vocab for the day. There is a series on the Talk to Me in Korean YouTube channel that I've really been liking lately. I'll just link it down below. It's a series of vlogs and they have one of their employees go out to popular Korean restaurants or stores and just film his description of the location and the conversations that he has, and they're really well done, really easy listening and watching. So if you're looking for something on YouTube to catch on the go, I would highly recommend that playlist. From that, I was able to grab 3 new vocab words to add to my Anki flashcards. My phone is dead as a doorknob right now, so I am unable to access those 3 words, which you would think I would know them off the top of my head since I'm learning them, but I just don't right now. I'm having Friday brain. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the words up here for you to check out. So here is word number 1. Here is word number 2. And here's word number 3. So, and then for tomorrow and for Sunday, as we get ready to close out the week, I think I'm really just going to focus on my 2 grammar lessons that I want to cover for my Talk to Me in Korean textbook and then my tutoring homework. That's the plan. Hello, happy Saturday night. It is live from my childhood bedroom on Saturday night. And I worked at the studio all day today. Came home and then sat down and got all of my grammar done for the week. I'm staying kind of quiet right now because everybody else in the house is asleep. I am still up though, and I'm going to share with you the grammar that I learned. So as a quick recap, let's pull up my little Talk to Me in Korean textbook. We have lesson 4.10. This is on how to say among and between. So for example, you can say, choose between these 3 items, or among my friends, he is super popular. Or I am standing between the bank and the park. So a couple different usages there. The words that we're focusing in on, or the grammar structures, is 중에서, 사이에서, and 사이에. 4.11 is part 1 of exploring the meaning of the word 아무. So 아무, as you can see, I took my notes here. 아무 means any, but we manipulate 아무 in a variety of different ways to convey different meanings. So you can take 아무 one of 2 ways. One is in a positive sense to mean anybody, anything, any place. The only caveat is it has to be connected to a noun. And like I said, we have to manipulate it.
can also be negative. 아무 can be manipulated to mean nobody, nothing, nowhere. So for the positives, we have 아무나, 아무거나, 아무데나. And then for negative, you have 아무도, 아무코도, 아무데도. Yeah, that's just kind of a quick rundown there. That brings me into the final vocab 2 that I wanted to cover this week. I think I was missing 4 more vocab words. So from these lessons, I was actually able to pull that vocab. 공사 중, which is under construction or in the middle of construction. I just feel like that's a helpful sign to be able to read and understand. And then 경찰서, which is the police station, which also very helpful. And then what I did is I took all the variations of 아무 and grouped them either positive or negative and turned each of them into their own flashcards. And I just counted each of them as their own addition to my Anki deck. So I was able to cover my 2 grammar lessons for the week, and I was able to hit 20 new words to add to my Anki flashcard deck that I now can learn. So all that leaves for tomorrow morning is now doing my tutoring homework and just kind of wrapping up the week. So it's been a long one. We got through it though, and I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna go watch some Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha and sleep in. Okay, bye.
안녕하세요, 여러분. 지금은 일요일입니다. And happy Easter for those who celebrate. I'm currently wrapping up this vlog on the Easter holiday. 그리고 여러분, 제 공부주가 끝났어요. 우후! 이 영상을 좋아하면 좀 알려주세요. 이번 주에는 새로운 단어 20개 하고 문법 2가지를 배울 거예요. 튜터리와 같이 이야기하고 숙제도 했어요. 공부할 시간을 찾는 것은 어려워도 한국어를 열심히 공부하는 것을 계속하겠습니다. That is going to do it for this week's video. I hope you guys liked it. Thank you so much for watching. And if you have other video ideas that you would like to see me do, just let me know down in the comments. Otherwise, I will see you next week for another video. 그럼 와주셔서 감사하고 다음에 또 봐요. 안녕히 계세요. Bye guys.